Hello, this is going to be an explanation of Project 10 for the Nand2Tetris tutorial. Basically, in Project 10, what they want you to accomplish is to look deeper into what we did in Project 9. In Project 9, we evaluated a Jack code, parsed it, compiled it, and then reran it as a virtual machine code. That's great, but we didn't actually do any of that. That was just a tutorial. So what they want us to do is get started on being able to accomplish that ourselves and writing these codes ourselves. So today, what I have accomplished is making a parser that will parse any code into its symbols, strings, and characters. And I will get to that in a minute. But this is basically the tutorial piece that they wanted us to look at and sort of take reference from. So this right here is, I believe, the main function for an array class. This is the class for making an array. I believe it adds the numbers together. What's not super important is what it does. What's more important is that it does work and that we need all of these pieces separate. So then they show us what they want as a result, which is this. This was given to us, and you can see here, if we go all the way up to the top, that we have a class identified as a keyword, and the keyword class is tokenized. So basically we're making a bunch of tokens for every keyword. So class would be a keyword. We also have, if we look over here, we have main as an identifier, and then we have an open bracket as a symbol. So if we come over here, we see, yep, we got that, close bracket, we have this open bracket as a symbol, and then it continues on. Now, none of this was written by hand. This was written by a function or a program in Python that we were trying to build, basically. They were giving us the starting result, the end result, and said, try to find what needs to be in the middle to get us there. Now, I can only record one screen at a time, so I will show you what I started with and then show you where I ended. This is the square.jack program. And this is what we worked on in Project 9. This is the one that runs the square, can move the square around the screen. You can even change the color from this page. Again, we're not really running the program, but we need to identify that every single little bit, down to size being a string, and down to this being a symbol, we need to tokenize this entire thing. So we needed to build basically a parser that would build that, or deconstruct this, and then let us reconstruct it in a different language if we wanted to. So I ended up building a parser in Python with a little bit of help. We have what looks identical to this XML file here. We start here with just some text, doesn't really matter. Or I'm sorry, not the text doesn't matter. The comments don't matter, we can disregard those. But if we start where the program starts, we see class, square, and open bracket. And over here we can see we have the exact same symbol. So we didn't miss anything. We still are declaring classes. We have different categories. It knows that all of these are identifiers, because not only is this tokenizing everything, but it's also categorizing and labeling them, which effectively is tokenizing. So what this lets us do is then use this XML file on any language, and it will be able to recompile and basically replace it with the file that it wants to. So before in Project 9, we tokenized and recompiled the .jack file for the square and turned it into a virtual machine file, or a .vm file, which we saw running. Here, we didn't do the second part, we just tokenized it, and now we can use this to turn this into maybe a Python file or a Java file if we have the compiler. So that's what we need to build next. Next, we're going to build a lexer and an analyzer to analyze our tokens and apply them to whatever language we want to. So this was Project 10, and Project 11 should be coming up pretty soon.